Co-pilot that plane for a moment.
Oh, we got a recording.
Oh, see it?
Drew,
Hey, everybody
tell me
back.
about yourself.
Yeah, let's go.
What is your channel
Well,
about?
oh, this is getting interesting. Hold on a second. So, Cobra Kai Kid Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, we were talking about the other day. All right, we got some friends, some extra special friends coming over here. We got Traveling Jules. We got Tyler, who we just met. We're making some great relationships with. Maximilian's over there. But my boy Drew, he was just up on stage, had some things to talk about with Tyler. Why don't you go ahead and kick it off? Who are you, as she said?
Yes, tell me. Who are you and what are you passionate about?
So, my name is Drew, and I have a YouTube channel called Cobra Kai Kid.
I love the name.
Thank you. It's a combination of Cobra Kai and Karate Kid.
Yes,
So, some people
I got
think.
it.
Well, no. Well, you know.
Well, I'm impressed that you're 21 and you know the references. Is it because of the new version?
Yeah. So.
Oh, okay.
So.
I know the original OG version because I'm old.
No. Well.
Yeah, old school. Yeah, I don't.
That's
no
right.
one need to say that.
Well, I knew of Karate Kid. Like, I've heard of it. But I grew up with Star Wars, Indiana Jones, so like 80s.
Okay.
But just Karate Kid wasn't one of them. But
Oh, nice.
that's me.
What type of content do you make?
I make all sorts of things that revolve around the Cobra Kai Karate Kid landscape.
Okay.
So, in the beginning, it just started as me talking about the show. Like, here's what I think's gonna happen. Here's what I like. Here are my thoughts, predictions for the new season. But then it started to evolve into doing interviews with the cast and the crew, which I never thought I would do. That's not something I originally
Isn't that the first video on her?
Can I see?
Hold on a second here.
What? Well, it wasn't the first video I made.
Well, no. I meant
Can I
like
just see this
on the roll.
Well, that's me.
Is it this one?
What are you looking for?
What was the one where you met him for the first? I thought that was the top one.
That one is where I met.
Oh, okay.
Where I met the cast at like a Comic-Con, but that was a few years after I made the channel. So at that point they knew who I was, and it was pretty cool because I went in not knowing if any of them would know who I was. Actually, there was a few people that maybe there were 2 people of 7 that I was like I've interacted with them before. They know who I am. The others, I was like, I don't know if they know me. And I went and
Oh, cool.
yeah, that's Billy Zabka, Johnny Lawrence from Karate Kid.
Zoom it on in.
Love
The
that.
main, it's the main guy.
That's my boy.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah,
So
I
how
would
big
kinda-
is your channel?
I have 230,000 subscribers.
Amazing. How many videos?
Over 1,000. Over 1,000 videos.
And
Yeah,
how long have you had the channel?
5 years.
5 years. So you started when you were
16. Yeah. I was a
You got a
sophomore.
license to drive on
That's
YouTube.
Junior, yeah, sophomore, junior in high school.
I represent big creators on YouTube, and one of my clients, Jenny Hoyas, do you know who she is? She's like 1 million plus on YouTube, and she started mentioning that random fans are just showing up in front of her house.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's bad, right? And so
Yeah.
I also represent Jax Films. I don't know if you know who he is.
I've heard
the
of
whole
him.
Sniper Wolf situation when she doxed him.
Wait, that was him?
Yeah.
That's who you represent?
Yeah, so I represent Jax Films.
Oh my
and
God.
We're going after Sniper Wolf, and I tell my clients you can't have your addresses in the public space because your fans will come find you, or your haters, right? And that's a big problem. One of my clients has 30,000 subs, and he's doing the most brand deals. Do you want to guess what kind of channel he has?
What kind of channel?
AI. So he's a machine
Wow.
learning scientist, and he teaches people about machine learning.
Interesting.
It's actually really smart.
That's pretty
so
cool.
we've done a brand deal with NVIDIA, with Notion. It's just it's a learning. Who's your audience usually?
Well, I have a very, the ages they range because Cobra Kai Karate Kid, it's you have people that grew up with Karate Kid, and then you have people that
So they're 40s.
Yeah, I've done so many things where I've interacted with the community, and it's really given me a good sense of I've had people in their 40s, 10-year-olds. Like it's just like so different.
Cool. That's so cool.
It is cool. It's cool because I could, you know, I wouldn't want to like adhere to one group because I wouldn't want to just be like super kid friendly where I just like, I don't know.
Well, so how do you balance, you know, when people say, okay, so they say niche down, right? That's what I tell my clients to do, which you've done a really good job with because you've like honed down on one show, right? So how do you serve like two very wide ranging, you know, audience groups? Like how do you make content for the kid and for the 40-year-old?
That's a good question. That's a good question. That's a very good question. I've never like really thought of that too hard. But I guess like just making like good stories. I like to make like short films and parodies, and you know, I it's like I don't like throw in like a bunch of like curses and like, you know, make it like inappropriate or whatever. But you know, I like to do comedy, and I there's like a balance. There's a balance with. That's a good question.
I think with the rise of AI content that we're going to see, I think that's what you're going to be. That's what's going to differentiate creators, right? It's like the storytelling, kind of like
For sure.
deep human connection that people are all missing anyway, right? Like I mean, I think the pandemic and social media has generally like made the distance between people a little further. So how do you make, you know, connection? Like I think it's really smart. Like storytelling is really important right now.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been like hearing like a lot about like the AI. I mean, it's I know it's just like getting bigger and bigger. Personally, it's never been something like, you know, I've heard like some people use that to help them like come up with ideas or stories. Like, I don't know. That's just never really been something that I've like looked into. It's like I like to create stories like based off my own personal experiences. I love music. Like this is like connected. Like I love musicals, right?
Oh, okay.
And so I think okay, like Cobra Kai, like that's what I'm talking about. But I also have a love for musicals. How can I like?
Have you tried like marrying those together?
I have.
Oh, okay.
I've done a couple things. The one thing that I'm most proud of, I think it has like 35,000 views on YouTube. There's a character that was introduced at the end of the 3rd season, and he was going to come into the 4th season. And I was like, let me do like a musical parody where I dress up as this character. And I'm sure you know the song New York, New York by Frank Sinatra.
Of course.
So I titled it Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai, changed the lyrics up, dressed up as him, was in front of a green screen, and like I just did it. And it was super fun, and it took a lot of time. It was hard work, but like I just loved like getting to sing and act, and it's fun. I don't want to just sit in front of a camera.
Did you just say sing? So you sing too?
I try.
Sing us. Come on.
Sing us something.
Oh,
You just talk Frank Sinatra.
And you have this amazing
Fly me to the moon.
audio
Like,
system.
play among the stars.
Oh yeah, let's get it,
what spring is like Oh, you give me a beat. Yeah.
Switch it up.
So
All right, well, that's interesting. Okay.
Thank you. I've made fan films, shorts about like just anything. I love comedy, like writing comedy, being in front of the camera, acting. Like I just love it all. So it's like after college, I definitely want to explore that more. Always have the Cobra Kai, but like, you know, take my other interests, the music.
You could have a second channel. There's no reason why you couldn't have another channel.
Yeah.
Right? But I mean, the fact that you have 200,000 subscribers, I think shows that you clearly are a good filmmaker. You have a dedicated audience. I mean, it's very, very hard to grow on YouTube. Like to hit
Thank
six
you.
figures on YouTube is a big deal, right? So the fact that you've been able to do that, I mean, I'm starting to tell people, you know, as an attorney, your YouTube channel is like that's an asset that you can pass on in your family. You know what I mean? It's like it's very valuable. I don't think people realize how valuable it is.
What do you mean by that? Like passing on to your family?
Well, so like if you have kids one day, like you could pass your YouTube channel on to them.
Yeah.
You know, there's Jordan Matter. Do you know who he is? He has a huge channel, 10 million subs. His channel used to be all about photography, and then his daughter grew up and like took over the channel. And she's like, it's all her content now.
Yeah.
You know, and she does like gymnastics and stuff.
sure.
So
It's
it's like
legacy
it's something that can
content.
be passed down through the family. I mean,
Yeah.
it's, like,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Yeah,
People don't realize that.
definitely. There's this YouTube channel. I love them. They're called the Sharp Family Singers.
Okay.
And it's a mom, a dad, a daughter, a son, and 2 twin boys. And they're this singing family. And they have over 2 million subscribers. So, like, I would imagine, like, you know, the kids are probably in school, but I would imagine that's their full-time thing. And it's pretty cool, like, to be able to do that with your family. And I don't know, that just, that's
Siblings? I mean,
siblings, parents, like,
well, do you have siblings or parents like that who could do that? Because that sounds
that's
cool.
them. That's them. The Sharp Family Singers. I love them.
Well,
They're
check it
great. They're great.
I'm just saying that this world of YouTube, and I'm big on YouTube because I love YouTube. I think it's the one platform that really pays their creators well. It's like it's gonna be here for a long time. I mean, like people never say like, oh, is YouTube going away? I don't think so. TikTok, I don't know, right? But like YouTube, I don't think so. It's the second biggest search engine out there.
For sure.
I don't know. I love YouTube. I love YouTubers.
I do too.
So it's like it's super cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me? Any like legal questions, like growing your business, your channel questions?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear just a little more about what you do, and like, you know, I know you mentioned some names that you represent, like just.
So basically, creators come to me usually because there's an emergency, right? Either someone has stolen their content or their course, or a brand is not paying them, right? That's usually like the top reasons. Sometimes there are a lot of PR crises that if I'm doing my job well, no one will ever hear about them. The social media crisis moves really fast because something happens and then my client wants to speak out and then they tweet and now I'm like, no, stop talking. No comment, you know, because it will die down.
Yeah.
And that's sure enough. In the last month, I told them it'll die down and die down.
Crisis
I've been
management.
doing this for almost 20 years in Hollywood. So I used to work at Disney and Skydance and BuzzFeed. I was part of the creators program at BuzzFeed. And about a year ago, I started my own YouTube channel called The Creator's Attorney. And I have about 30,000 subs. And so I make content about how to protect yourself, legal issues that creators meet, how to make money, how to become a 7-figure creator. That's what I'm big on. How to launch your own product. You know, how to think of yourself as a legitimate business, right? Because most creators are like, heads down, I'm just going to make content, and that's what I'm going to do. That's sometimes like a recipe for burnout, right? If that's all you're doing, and sometimes not making money. I mean, I don't know if your AdSense are healthy, but like, it's like a grind. You know, for some of my clients, they barely make enough to make rent, right? And so it's like, how do we get you there so that it's a real business that you don't have to like live month to month, paycheck to paycheck, you know, that phrase. So I basically function as almost like a operations, like a COO, like a fractional COO. I come in and I help them look at all their infrastructure. How do we make money, make passive income? Let's make sure we're moving your community off to your own website. Like, are you capturing email lists? You know, this is actually a real question for you. Like, do you have like an off-platform community? Are you capturing people's emails so that one day when you launch a product, those are your prime customers ready to go? Are you getting email addresses? Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
So you could do something like you give them a free product, right? Whether it's, for me, it's like a checklist, right? Like here are all the top brand deal, legal pitfalls to watch out for, and then people just give you their email addresses. It's something to think about, right? Because you should capture that business, and you should be able to talk to your community directly. If you wanted to launch a newsletter, right? Just have a closer connection to your audience. Who are you emailing? So just in your next video, start saying, I'm starting a newsletter. I'd love to connect with you. Make sure, fill out this form and give me your email address. And boom.
Yeah.
If you have 200,000 subscribers, you're going to get 1,000 emails easily. Something to think about.
I like that.
That could be the first step of building your business.
Yeah.
That's
great.
Because we're going to 10x your subs, too. We're going to go 250,000 to 2.5 million, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So the question is then how you get there, right?
Yeah.
There's channels for that.
Yeah. That
I mean, college ain't free, right?
It ain't free. But yeah, I'm very grateful that my family supports what I'm doing.
Super cool.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Yeah.
that's a big thing, having
great.
support, especially because it doesn't always come right away. Sometimes it takes time, and it's like, listen, I know I'm not making however much right now, or I know I'm not doing all this right now, but it's a process. Like, when I am looking to expand, I need to have confidence in myself, because I'm going to be I have this Cobra Kai channel. Sure, I can go off from it and maybe bring over some people, but at the same time though, it's not going to, you can't just replicate 200,000 followers. You got to create something new.
No, I know.
That's going to attract people.
That new channel, it's a new audience because it's going to be new content, right? It's not
For sure.
the same content. Are they going to be interested in the same content? I don't know. It depends. If it's a filmmaking channel about musicals, maybe not. Maybe it won't be so transferable. But
No.
I think YouTube is really the American dream, right? You can start from nothing, what I love about it, right? Why I left Hollywood was because I was just sick of all the studio heads deciding these are the stories worthy of being told. When you're on YouTube, if you have a story to tell, you get on camera. Sometimes millions of people could watch it immediately. That's the American dream. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's cool.
There was I was talking to Max about it. There was a video that I watched about, it was this girl who she wasn't trying to grow a YouTube channel. She just literally made an account. She made a video, and she was just really sad. And she made a 15-minute video just expressing how she was feeling, not edited, nothing. And it has millions of views because it was just real, it was authentic, and it was one of the best videos I've ever watched.
Recently, what's her name? I want to watch it.
Her channel is what is it? Girl in a blue dress.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know.
Does she continue?
No. She she made a couple videos after, but but what happened was people. Yeah, see if you can find it. People when she hasn't posted in a year, and people are I hope you're okay. Where are you? Because you just cared for her as a person. I don't know how the algorithm. I can't tell you how the algorithm, because she's on a YouTube channel, but she just made a random Google YouTube account, posted that. That's her. I love her. She's great.
How many subscribers does she have?
How many subscribers?
42,000.
42,000. But let's see. It was her most video.
2 million views?
2 million views was just I have no friends.
Right there. I have no friends.
It's I my heart broke for her, because we've all been there where just in a sad place, and that's, I give her so much props for coming on the internet, and
I love that.
and she, when she did it, it's not like she had a following, but she grew a following. She left the video there, and it's helped so many people. It's
Well, I love that because I have a 13-year-old daughter, and it's tough being a teenager girl, right?
Yeah.
And it's they have to go through a lot, and it's just a lot of hormones, and other girls are not nice. Not to say boys don't go through the same thing, but girls get.
No, that's different.
It's
I got 3 older sisters. It's different.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something really important, authenticity, right? Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like you come across authentic? What does authentic mean to you?
I 100% come across as authentic, and I'll
agree.
It's I'll tell you why. Whenever a new trailer drops for the season, I mean, I love this show like so much. I have a YouTube channel. It's like, you know, it's a big part of my life, and it's also like really inspired me deeply. So if I was watching it by myself, I'd be excited. But when I'm watching it on camera for the first time, I'm excited. So, you know, I get really hyped. And some might say you're over the top. But it's like, you know, that's who I am. And I remember when I first heard those comments, I was like, maybe I'll just like force myself to dial it down and just like, but then I realized like that's kind of why people are watching me, for my excitement and enthusiasm about the show and about what I'm talking about. So I was like, you know what, screw the haters. If they're gonna I don't know, I just don't think there's a, like, if someone has a problem with you being authentic, that's on them. Like, you might not have that same passion.
Well, they're disconnected.
Yeah.
Authenticity comes from
creators, friends, myself. When I get those negative comments, that's engagement.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. The algorithm, like, it's like the more comments you get, you know, sometimes I will say a mistake and I won't edit it out. And people will be like, oh, you said that word wrong.
Right.
And then you get like 15 comments.
Let me correct you.
Pronounce that wrong.
And
That's engagement.
And how do you view that? Like, when you see that, is it like...
Look, when I first started, like, my channel was like just a few videos, like, it would like crush me. I'm like, oh my God, well, you are so mean, you know? But then I kind of got over that. And now I'm like, I don't know, I think I'm at 50 long videos, and I've kind of just grown a little more of a thick skin about it, because these are random people out in the world. Like, who knows, like, who they are or what they're going through, and sometimes I get those, I try to let it not bother me and focus on the ones who are like, oh my God, I had no idea about this. Like, thank you so much for teaching me about this, because now, like, I would have, like, you know, gotten in trouble, or I would have done something wrong in my videos, or like, it's just like, you got to focus on that, right? Like, you know, I love that you're doing this for creators, because that's how I really get my information out there, is on my YouTube channel, because it's free information, right? Like, no one has to pay me anything to get this information. I don't want to gatekeep knowledge, you know, that I have in my head. I just want to get it out there, you know, faster, so people can learn and say, like, okay, so in brand deals you need, you know, mutual indemnity, mutual morals clause, a cap on liability, you know, make sure they can't use your likeness in perpetuity. I mean, all these things that creators, like, just don't know about, you know? I just want to, like, share it. I'm putting out content once every 3 months right now, which is not okay. Before, so my first year, I put out one video. So I took Ali Abdal's, like, do you know who Ali Abdal is? He's like a productivity guy. He has a course called the Part-Time YouTube Academy, and he teaches people like how to start a YouTube channel. He's like, if you put out 50 videos in 1 year, that's one a week, right? You should get 1,000 subscribers. Because on YouTube, it's just kind of slow. Like, how long did it take you to get your first 1,000 subs?
I think it was within the first, like, maybe 6 months.
Okay, so that's fast, right? So for a lot of people, it's like slow growth. But once you you get to a certain number and you consistently make videos, then like it kind of like snowballs, right?
For sure.
My problem is I'm not making content all the time. So like when I used to do live streams, like people would give me like little sticker chats, like $5 here and there. I mean, it was very nice and sweet. I was so grateful that people were watching me at all on like live streams. Do you ever do live streams?
I do. I actually just started back a few months ago, weekly live streams. That was something I wanted to do for a while. So like every Sunday at like 11:30 a.m. Just like for 30 minutes to an hour, just kind of talking about what happened in the week.
I'm such a perfectionist. Live streams like freak me out because I love being able to like edit it and like curate this beautiful video. Do you know what I mean?
I completely
get it.
But I think
to what you were saying about that girl in the blue dress, like people really like kind of raw, like, you know, mistakes. Like they don't mind it as much. But in my head, I think I'm a professional attorney. I need to sound a certain way. I say the word like a lot.
Me too.
You know, so in the live streams, you can't really cut those out, right? They're just
there. Exactly. No, I get what you're saying completely. See, I just did it right there. for me, it's like, yeah, I've watched other creators, and oftentimes I'll just like play their live streams on in the background and listen to them for an hour rather than watch a video, because like I'm just more interested in their like authentic thoughts. And for me, it's like realizing that there's a group there that feel that way about me is like really like special.
Oh, it is.
Because
like, I'm always shocked when anyone shows up in my live streams.
It's such a good feeling. It's like I've had times where the internet was lagging, everything was going wrong, and I had like people there on still listening, and I'm like, you guys are the best. Like, this means a lot. And it's like, because the content, like I've had a lot of people, you know, like tell me, this is the first video I watched, this is the first video I watched, you know, and it's usually like those bigger videos that bring them in, but then it's like how do you keep them engaged? And it's like I'm just like a, you know, I'm just like
I love this. Can I tell you why? Because I think like some people, right, have such a bad concept of what YouTubers are, right? They don't realize that YouTubers are so thoughtful. We analyze, we think about, like before we even put on a video, how our audience reacted to the last video, comments, you know, it's just like we are so engaged and we care so deeply. People think, oh, it's just like YouTubers, whatever. Like they dismiss it as like not a real thing or not a legitimate, serious, you know, endeavor or career to have. And that's my whole goal is like, how do I tell people that that's not true? Like YouTubers are the hardest working people I've ever met. I mean, the pace to put out a video every few days, every week, on top of your life is insane. Right?
It's so difficult.
Yeah.
Like, especially like for me, it's like, you know, when like life is just like unexpected curveballs, and it's like with YouTube, you got to be on. Like, you gotta like, you know, it takes a lot of creativity, energy, especially when you're talking in front of the camera. So like when a curveball happens in life, it's like,
oh, I know,
you gotta still make a video and
and then you have to edit it, right? And then you have to like put it out. And for me, like sometimes it's like midnight and I'm like, I want to go to sleep, but I can't because I have an editor, so I have to go give comments to them because they're in India, like so that they can work on it while I'm sleeping. So oftentimes I'm up till 2 giving comments and, you know, re-watching it, like watching this section is like, do I want to cut this out? Like, you know, it's just like so much work that most people who just consume our content for free don't really realize. Like, if you're not making content, you don't realize how much time it takes to make.
It's so difficult. I've like, you have to. There's all these stages. Like I remember making videos every day a few years ago. Every day, maybe even like multiple a day, and I was like doing great numbers wise. And I was like, oh my God, this is great. And I just kept going. And then just like got so burnt.
I know.
And I was like, damn, okay. So then I actually, a year and a half ago, I took like 4 months off completely. I never did that before. 4 months, nothing. Because I needed to just take a step back and say, how do I do this?
Yeah.
And I was talking a little bit about it on the panel. It's like, with YouTubers being their own bosses, you can do as much or as little as you want, but it's important to schedule stuff. Like, I try and create schedules for myself so that way I'm staying consistent, but I'm also not like, say like I make a video and I'm like, maybe I'll do another one. And I stop myself, I'm like, no, you could do it tomorrow, or just to space it out a bit and not, because it's longevity, you know?
And I think the audience is becoming a little more forgiving. I think they understand, like after, you know, like Emma Chamberlain and Casey Neistat just like leaving because they got so burnt out. They're like, okay, like a creator can leave for a couple of months and they'll still come back. Now, look, I think it is harder to come back when you take a big break because you have to like rebuild the algorithm. Like, I feel like I took 3 months off and it was like really hard to come back. But I've also pivoted my channel. I used to be called the Hollywood Attorney. So I was covering huge trending stories in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But now I'm just covering like creator content. So there's a smaller audience for that. Like people are much more interested in like Alec Baldwin, you know, in the Rust shooting versus why creators shouldn't do brand deals, and these are the 5 things you should do to make money instead, right? There's a smaller audience for that. So I'm experiencing that kind of pain with the pivot right now. So I don't like people who take advantage of smaller creators, rip their TikTok videos and don't give credit to them. I mean, I don't think anyone should be doing that. I mean, you look at Moist Critical, he has such a better way of using people's content. Like he will link out to them, he'll talk about them. He's like so respectful of creators and wanting to give them credit and drive revenue towards them. Yeah. I mean, that's how my next video is actually going to be about copyright and fair use and how most people who have reaction channels are stealing people's IP. Just by saying fair use on the bottom doesn't mean you're protected or you're like not actually breaking copyright law.
Yeah, and you can't like put like yourself in a little small screen and react to someone's whole 50-minute video without editing or commentating.
Exactly. I mean, look, I think most people are breaking copyright law, but if no one claims them or strikes against them, then it's fine. And there's a catch-22, with like Sniper Wolf. Basically, what's happening is you are having a huge creator using your content, so people will not report her because they're like, oh, my video is getting watched by millions of people on her channel, right? So I don't mind it. But they could, file a copyright strike or a copyright claim against her, and they don't do it. So I have a client who just got his channel taken down. 6 copyright strikes in a row from this IP holder, right? So what you can do is you can file a counterclaim and refute it. So basically you are in a direct conflict with the IP holder, and then you're appealing to YouTube, basically saying I'm in the process of trying to appeal it, and hopefully you can come to a resolution with the IP holder. Now, what's interesting is the IP holder actually offered, pay me $150 for the use of my video, and then I'll take the strike away. This client came to me, talked to me, I gave him the advice, he went back, and this IP holder is not responding to him. So sometimes you're at the mercy of YouTube. So what you have to do is you have to reach out to the rep that sent you the email. You have to try to appeal to YouTube and try to get your channel back. What's also helpful is sometimes you have your audience write to YouTube. There was recently a woman who had like 1 million plus channel. She got her channel taken down and she didn't know why. And that's also the other scary thing. Sometimes you don't know why your channel gets taken down. And all of her audience went and wrote YouTube to tell them to repeal the deletion of her channel, and it worked.
Wow.
She got her channel back. So there's so much power in your audience because YouTube just wants to make their viewers happy. They want people to come back. They want people to stay on the platform. So there are a lot of things you can do, but sometimes people do lose their channels forever. And YouTube will send you an email saying, you're in violation, remove this video or change it. They do try to give you warnings. And if you don't abide by it, then they'll take your channel down. Yeah.
When you say take the channel down, they don't necessarily delete it because you said she got it back.
Well, so it did get deleted, right? Like it didn't exist anymore. But of course it sits on YouTube's cloud. Like it's still there. But they gave it back to her. They don't delete it forever. It's not
unless you delete your own channel.
Yeah, you can delete your own channel. But I feel like it still sits on YouTube's cloud somehow.
Oh,
nothing ever gets deleted, just so you know.
Interesting.
That's not official. I do not work for YouTube. That's not official YouTube position. They give you so many warnings, you know, when you're trying to like,
Yeah.
if I ever upload a video on accident, I want to fix something, they're like,
Are you
3
sure?
times, Are
Yeah.
you sure it's going to be deleted permanently forever?
It's
Are you
scary.
sure?
It's
I
so
know, it's
scary.
scary.
Oh my God.
Like, sometimes I'll like not delete the that video after I post another one, and I make sure that one posts completely before I delete the.
It's terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a good question to ask. You're uploading it to the platform, right? So you're abiding by the user
Terms of service. I know.
terms of service, and if you didn't read the terms of service, which nobody ever does,
I have no
we
clue
just
what the
click it
terms
to
of
get
service
through it and
are.
get by it. Yeah, maybe they could reuse that content,
You should
and they
read the
can come
terms of
back.
service.
Yeah.
As a lawyer, I'm sure you
I have looked at it, yes. And
you read it thoroughly and
yeah,
make sure.
but it changes sometimes, you know. YouTube does change their terms of service. I mean, I had to do it for the Jax Films and the doxing thing, because I had to figure out what was their policy on doxing. But their position was the doxing happened on Instagram, not YouTube. So they said this is Instagram's problem.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
No.
Interesting. Oh, because that's where she posted.
Yeah, she live streamed the front of his house on Instagram, not on YouTube. But she's their golden child. I mean, she makes probably $10 or $20 million a year on YouTube AdSense, which means YouTube probably makes $100 million off of her in a year.
Making it rain, yeah.
You know?
That's crazy.
But she just gets so many eyeballs on her channel.
It's like it's the power of creators. You could like
It is.
and it's kind of scary in a way where like someone who has so many followers, even if they do something that's unethical, they have like their supporters.
Well, YouTube protected her too.
And you got YouTube, so it's like an army.
Oh, I know.
Well, you're in a finite group of people. They say that, 10% of the, well, I think it's America, 10% of Americans are creators, 90% are consumers, right? But then globally, it's like goes down to 1%. So 1% globally are creators, 99% are consumers. So if you look at those finite numbers, don't quote me, it's probably some old statistics, but there's not a whole lot of creators. And right now we're still on that upbringing. I'm actually kind of interested to see where this is all going to happen at the Creator Lab at NAB 24 here. Yeah. We got Drew, Cobra Kai. We got Tyler.
We're recording the whole podcast.
Oh yeah,
here.
oh yeah. You know, it's Tuesday. It's like the show's coming close to an end. Taco Tuesday.
Drew, thank you for talking with me. It's so cool to get to know you better.
It was so great talking to you.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love talking to creators, and thank you for moderating.
Yes.
You're awesome. You're awesome.
Thank you.
And I think it's super cool what you do because, like, I don't know, like, I didn't know too much about it, and talking to you, learning more about it, and don't discredit what you do because, you know, there is an audience like myself. I would probably really benefit from watching your channel and learning the do's and the don'ts and the, you know, the ins and outs. So there's an audience for it.
Thank you. I mean, look, my last video got 1,600 views, and I was like bummed about it because like my Sniper Wolf videos got like 400,000 views, right? But then I was like, if it's 1,600 creators who are learning from this, like
100%.
somebody said,
Exactly.
you know how to, like a stadium, like I don't know how many people are in a stadium, but it's like to fill 1,600 people
Exactly.
in a room, that would be a lot of people.
Exactly.
So I just need to
Good point.
realize that, yeah.
Well, like, even
Great
like,
perspective.
let's say 5, right? Let's say you got 5 views, you know? It's like, what if 5 people were in front of you right now and like saying like, thank you for all you do? It's like, that's a lot. That's overwhelming.
Actually, yeah, I love talking to people one-on-one. Like, so you're right. That's a really good point.
Yeah, but what if it was like the general council of like Warner Brothers, Paramount, and CBS or something, right?
Yeah.
You only needed 3, and it was the right 3 that, you know? So,
Yeah.
never do it.
Well,
You
thank
guys been fantastic.
Thank you.
Gosh.
Thank you.
Making good friends over here. Love it.
Thank you.
This is awesome.
All right, check it out.
This is so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're good. I can hit it a bit. I can edit a bit.